Good morning, amazing people. How are we? I am going to talk about something that's highly important, right? A lot of people miss this, and this is the number one reason people are being denied. Into today's information, here's a disclaimer. I am not a licensed professional, CPA, as legal or tax or financial advice. All right, let's get that out of the way. Okay, so let me ask you a real question. How many of you have a business, but every time that you apply for funding, you keep getting denied or low limits? Drop a bag in the chat if this is you. Okay, okay, all right. Awesome. So most people think that the problem is their credit score. That is not true. A lot of denials happen because your business is classified as a risky industry. Unaware. You're thinking that your credit score is going to take care of everything, and you feel like, hey, I'm a good person. I got good credit history. Give me money. I wish it were as simple as that. Personal credit and personal lending, when you're asking for funds on the personal side, is rated. You are an entity. Your business is an entity. Your business does not have any credit history. You're just you going into this business, right? What is the history of this industry? What does it look like? What is the history of people being successful in this industry? The number one way to find out if your industry or the type of company you have lenders SIC codes. There's going to be several websites that's going to list this information for you, and this will let you know, like, hey, I'm in a risky industry or not. All right. First and foremost, banks and lenders categorize S and SIC codes. Okay. Some industries are automatically considered high risk, even if you have good credit. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. There are people out there with 800 credit scores that cannot get any funding. Will include credit repair. I literally had someone who came into my mentorship, and he was like, I can't understand why. And he's going crazy. And industries are like, nope, denied. Credit repair. Transportation of any sort. Logistics is transportation. And if I like explaining things, if someone asked me a question before, that means thousands. Anything that has anything to do with you being behind a wheel of a car. You're doing any sort of deliveries, Uber driving, delivering packages, DoorDash, logistics, okay? Transportation of any sort. Cannabis related industries, entertainment and nightlife. So entertainment, actress, nightlife, stripping, adult nightclubs, rapper. Tourism, you're a travel agent, you're a tourist guide, risky. Forex and crypto, of course. All right. If your business falls into one of these categories, lenders see you as high risk by default. It doesn't matter what your credit score is. You are going to be denied, or you will be approved with a very low approval. All right. Just want to make you aware of that. So why do lenders care? From a lender's perspective, risky industries have higher chargebacks, they have inconsistent revenue, are more likely to default, are heavily regulated. And that's a problem. That's going to stifle right there. And if they're going in with you as a business partner, they're like, we don't want to take that risk because we know all so well where this may end up. Okay, especially if it's a startup, you can forget it. Typically, let me say this, and I love being truthful and honest. You can and we have gotten people funding in these industries, but they've demonstrated a history of success. For instance, I've had mentees in the trucking and the real estate industry. My background is real estate. If you have 5 years of success, especially trucking is heavily underwritten. They want to see 3 to 5 years of you being in business. You have to be in business at least 5 years, or they're not even going to consider you. They're going to ask for 2 to 4 years. I get him some funding under that name. All right. Real estate, the same thing. When it comes to real estate, say I had a real estate developer. He came from a long line of history. His whole company and his had been passed down to him, but like 3 generations. We went and got him $600,000, no problem, because he has a track record of successful businesses, and he had been doing this for over 20 years himself. And then the company was owned by his father and then his grandfather. This is when there's exceptions to the rules. So I don't want you to be discouraged. But if you're someone just starting out and you're starting out in these risky industries, you're losing before you even start. And I also want to say this. Banks have been in the money game and partnering with big not go into any of these industries without the right mentorship. People funded to buy a business. So if anything, consider that if you're a new entrepreneur. Don't be a new entrepreneur and you don't know anything about being a boss and you go into one of these risky industries. The odds of you being successful in the right everything, the right environment, and the universe is on your side, and this was meant for you. Otherwise, you have to understand that business is risky and pay attention to why it's landing on a risky lenders list. Okay. All right. Now, the biggest mistake that I see is that people huge mistake. All right. What you're naming your company should not include the industry that it's in. I don't care if it's risky or non-risky or not. It's just unsophisticated. All right. Do not put your name in it unless your name is something catchy or something and you feel strong about that. Okay. Do not put the industry in there. You know, LMK trucking or LMK entertainment or risky. Soon as they see that on the application, the underwriter is thumbing straight past your application. Risky. Okay. I'm an actress. I'm these things, okay, in that industry. Okay. And then the biggest mistake that I'll see, you guys will put credit, funding, capital. Red flag names. All right. Instead, name your business, because the good news is if you've already done this, let me put that out there. The good news is you can amend and make any changes to your company. You can go to the Secretary of State and file an amendment and make the necessary changes to your name and your category if you find out that you are in a risky industry. Okay. We want something that is powerful, like an acronym of something, or use something that means something to you, something that screams power and sophistication. So use an acronym of something. enterprises, ventures, solutions. Okay? That's it. We don't need to know what industry it's in. Business itself. Huge mistake. So I have mentees that are in the beauty industry. They have e-commerce, beauty brands, and things like that. And when they come to me, they feel that it's necessary to call themselves Loving Beauty LLC. No, this is the purpose of doing business as names, DBA. Listen to me and listen to me well if you're coming up under the sound of my voice, okay? Your company name and your corporation name does not need to be the same. Do not build a company or a corporation that is not built for funding. This is the number one reason. I hope this is information you could use. Business credit on a risky name or an unsophisticated name. So when you start going asking for real money, not going to do it. This is the bank's primary goal, is to assess risk. And I'm helping you out here today. All right. So directly in the business name or the category, do not place risky keywords. Use a DBA name. All right. That will immediately flag lender red flags, like immediately. Okay. You're going to go up under full underwriting. All right. Now, how to correct a risky industry. Here's good news. Like I said, in many cases, this is fixable. You could reclassify your NAICS code. You can position your company as management, consulting, or a services firm. All right. Separate operational services from high risk activities. This doesn't mean you're lying. Okay. So this doesn't mean you're lying. It means you're describing your business in a way that lenders actually understand and approve. All right. So why do it yourself YouTube advice fails all the time, right? You cannot YouTube your way through this. You're probably, the information I'm giving you right now, I don't hear a lot of people talking about it. This is probably an awakening for you, to be honest, okay? I try to give information that's needed and useful. This is why random YouTube advice doesn't work. People skip industry risk, business structure, credibility setup, and funding sequence. This is behind a paywall. Okay, just so you'll know. And then they think funding, right? It's all about the correction. This is the foundation of setting yourself up and positioning yourself for $50,000 to $150,000, or just positioning yourself for any funding for yourself and for your business. This is step number one. This is exactly what we fix inside of my Finally Funded community, okay? We will walk you through choosing the right industry category, structuring your business for credibility. What is credibility? Truthful and believable. That's all credibility means. The layman's match what's on. Are you truthful and believable online and on paper on the application itself? Does all business records match? Is everything cohesive and congruent? Okay, highly important. Building, we help you separate your personal from your business, okay, which is a huge risk. It's another thing people don't talk about a lot, all right? We need to be structured out in the correct fashion. What is a simple ABC correct structure, which we have. We teach you how to structure out yourself in a trust, in a family trust, setting your money down in the correct fashion, tax-free. Family trust, business trust, nonprofit. Okay? We are structured out in this manner. What are we doing? We're saving on taxes. Huge. You as an entrepreneur, your job is to get yourself economically in line. All right? We need a well thought out economic plan. We can't just wing it. We can't just open up an LLC and think that we're protected and we just go to work. This is why our intellectual property is being taken. I also teach you how to trademark, or I have a trademark partner that is so cheap to my mentees, only charging $300, okay? And the attorney's fees, huge. What does that mean? You can protect yourself. You can protect your brand. You have so many people stealing people's ideas, big corporations. Don't you know that they're watching us? Do you know how many people in the fashion industry that these big names have taken their stuff? I know someone personally where a big brand just took her stuff and she doesn't have the money, or she didn't have it trademarked. She can't fight. Okay? And this is what we teach you inside of my Finally Funded community. The good news is I'm going to train you and mentor you for free for 30 days. All right, just DM me and I'll send you the link. But we're going to teach you how to structure out in a trust in a correct fashion. All right, do it yourself. It is not that hard. All you're doing is just transferring, using a document, ownership from there to the trust, from you to the trust. That's it. And the recorder of deeds. Once you see this information, you're like, oh my God, people are charging $10,000, $15,000. All right. And this was me just going to different people, acting like I'm not who I am. I'm just going in as a customer. I'm trying to find a partner to do this stuff for my community. And I found an amazing person. She is the bomb. She literally walks it through step by step. Okay. She teaches you like you're 2 years old. All right. Very simple. Structure out in a trust. You should be structured out in a trust, a holding company, and the holding company should own your individual. You need to be structured out in the correct fashion. You need to be fundable, credible, and bankable, named properly. That is why I'm talking about this subject matter today. It's highly important. Okay, so building your business credit right away, right? Cleaning and optimizing your personal credit profile. So DM me boot camp, and we're going to send you the link so you can go through our 30-day boot camp for free. We need to get the basics out of the way. The reason I'm doing that is because my mentor did it to me years ago. I didn't have enough money, right? I was driving Uber back then to even pay for the program. But I got started on the free stuff. I cleaned up my personal information. I positioned myself, my business credit profile, all of that stuff. I was ready. I had the basics out of the way, and that's how I was able to get rid of my bankruptcy and fund myself over $300,000 in 5 months. Like, you need to lock in. If you're not in a position where you could just go straight to high ticket, go with the lower packages. Just get started. Get a win. Let's go. That you don't know how to get capital for your business. Sophisticated business people, they name and structure out their companies correctly, and then they start looking for funding right away. Not unsophisticated people. I was one of them. All right. So what do? We don't even probably even structure out. We just go straight into business. We thinking we're cool with that limited liability. All right. That's a whole nother thing. I told you in the beginning, I am not a professional CPA or tax professional. Taken as legal, tax, or financial advice. This is for informational purposes only, and I'm sharing my journey. I didn't structure out. That's why you're talking to me. So when things in the market shifted and it went left, I was personally liable for everything. So I am ensuring that that doesn't happen to anyone who comes into my mentorship. All right. The information is there. I have it where you can structure yourself out. I have a partner where you can just go and get your intellectual property trademarked and you can get ownership. Okay. Very simple. Those are the things that are left out these days. It's all about money, money. And there's no rush. There's no rush to wealth. Real wealth building is built slowly. There's no get quick rich scheme. If you're starting out on a venture, do not just prepare yourself to perfect everything and to perfect your foundation. And then make sure that that foundation is powerful and give yourself a good 2 to 3 years to really start seeing like multiple six figures. When you go in it with that mindset, rather than how long is it going to take? When I'm talking to people and they're like, oh, how long is it going to take? It's going to take as long as it's going to take to get your structure out properly. And then it's going to take you as long as I'm going to share something with you guys. Jim Rohn. I got that written down in my home in a picture frame. For things to change for you, you have to change. For things to get better for you, you have to get better. You get better over time, not overnight. Okay, now sometimes income and success can come fast. If you're tuned in and you're locked in, all right, it can come a lot faster than you anticipated too. This is why it's important that's happened to me multiple times, because I'm someone that's locked in. I'm not watching Atlanta Housewives or whatever reality TV show is out there now. I'm locked in. I don't even watch TV. All right? So I'm locked in. And when that happens, you're 10xing. So your results are coming 10x, 10 times faster. All right? So whatever you're getting into, and don't just do anything, do it to reset and start. Okay? I'm also going to walk you through applying to the right banks in the right order. You need to understand that as well. People just go out, they're listening to people. These 3 banks right here, that may not be for you. What if your situation, in order to build you in the correct fashion in your foundation, what if we go to a few credit unions? What if we build the correct relationship with the correct financial institution for you? What if? Don't just jump and think that this thing is going to happen to you overnight. Years. You can probably build something so powerful that you can sell it for 10 times more than what you built it for. And get the right guidance. Get the right mentorship. Mentorship is the cheat code. It collapses the timeline. You trying to YouTube your way through something, guys, I promise you're going to be standing in place your entire life. All right? So if you want to learn this the right way, I'm opening up access to my finally funded community free for 30 days. And every day there's a task to take you and lead you to the funding side. Okay? It's just as simple as that. All right? Take action. Act as though you paid $2,500 for this information, because that personal credit optimization, meaning making your personal credit, what you already have on there, better, teaching you about that. Business credit building out a firm and a powerful business credit. Right amount of trade lines on Business Equifax, Business Experience, and Duns and Bradstreet. Okay. Your funding pathways. I just spoke about that. What is your personal funding blueprint? With a generic funding sequence and expect everyone to have great results. It doesn't work like that. Funding is a very personalized, customized situation. Right? Just to recap everything, when you're starting out in business, your business name does not need to be the same name as your company. Your corporation, I meant to say, so your corporation that you're building, an LLC, a C Corp, or an S Corp, it should not be the same name as your business. First and foremost, this should be an overt company. Your name shouldn't be in that corporation's name, nor should the industry be in that corporation name. You also need to categorize yourself in the correct fashion. Understand NAICS codes and SIC codes, risky and healthy. What is the difference? Google risky business SIC. All right. You also want to jump into my 30-day boot camp. Totally free. I'm not asking for any credit cards, anything like that. This is my gift to you at the top of the year. Okay. I always give out things for thousands. Why? Because I'm sharing my gifts with the world. I was you. Driving Uber, lost it all, lost my Airbnb. Bankruptcy, funded myself $300,000 in 5 months. All right. But that was with mentorship. That was with guidance. There would have been no way in the world that I, without any of this knowledge, could have YouTube. Okay. So I'm giving you this as a gift to you, and I'm extending this to you because it was given to me as a gift when I was in a dire situation, right? I started out with his free information first. You can end up with your first $25,000 credit card. Okay. This information is quite powerful. So the hope is you take that and then you level up and go to the next level. Boom. Let's do this. Let's structure out in a trust. Let's get my business credible. Let's become fundable. Let's create a well thought out economic plan. All right. So I've done my duty for today. My goal is to come here. Great. DM me the word mentor or boot camp. Actually, just DM